What's up, everyone? My name's Carl. Me taking you through this functional mobility flow. One thing to keep in mind today, we tend to start this class a little bit slower with controlled articular rotations, just joint circles, right? As we target one joint at a time, we want to keep other joints from helping out or assisting on our joint circles. So really slow, controlled work to start, getting into more dynamic movement. Really excited about this. If you've been practicing with me, these are all new movement patterns that I'm, teaching. So it should be a lot of fun, but just keep in mind also, if you don't get something, maybe I don't explain something well enough, you can always like pause, rewind, just watch me do it. Like that visual of seeing someone do it can really be powerful, to then go try it. So keep that in mind. We're going to be linking different flows together today, practicing them all like 3 to 4 times to really try to ingrain the patterns in us. So we're actually going to get started in a high kneel. So come up to this high kneel position. Now, if it's okay, if you're on enough comfortable flooring, curl the toes under behind you. But if you need more power through the feet, you can untuck the toes. We're going to start with some thoracic spine cars here. So just cross your arms over your chest. Now, as you go through this car, keep your hip points squared forward. Don't let the hips follow and turn with you. It's smaller motions than you think. I'm kind of doing it really fast right now, but as you flex down, make sure it's just the upper spine and you're not flexing from your low spine. So keeping our low spine still and our hips forward. Take an inhale. Keep your chin towards your chest and exhale, round your spine down and show every vertebra out of your shirt. And pause here. Keep those hips forward. Turn your sternum to the right. Squeeze out that rotation. Drop your right shoulder down, freezing here. Keep the head in line with your spine as you extend. Lift up without leaning back. And then right or left shoulder drops down. Laterally flex the spine into rotation. Turn your sternum to the left. Flex and round back through center. One more that direction. Turn to the right. Drop right shoulder. Extend, lifting up through the chest. Drop left shoulder. Rotate to your left and round back through center, and just take it right to the left now. Turn your sternum to the left. Try not to lead with the eyes, right? Drop left shoulder. Extend, collarbone, smile. Drop right shoulder. Rotate to the right. And round or flex your spine through. Last thoracic spine card. Turn to the left. Drop left shoulder. Lift your chest up. Drop that right shoulder. Rotate to the right and flex and round back through center. Slowly, low to high, extend your spine back up tall. Inhale, just open up the arms. And exhale, bring your hands down right into tabletop. So spread your fingers. Now let's just go through some full spine segmentation. Couple slow cat-cows. As we go through these cat-cows, remember to keep our shoulder blades from helping out. As we go into cat, very common that the upper back, the shoulder blades spread wider. And as you go into cow, the shoulder blades tend to come together, which sometimes we're going for that. This time we're not. We're trying to keep our shoulder blades still. So as you come up into your cat back, you're pushing your hands forward and your legs back. As you come into cow, you reverse the pull of the hands and the legs. You pull them towards one another. So spread your fingers, walk the knees up a little bit. Start with as neutral of a spine as you can find. And we're going to inhale into our cow. So start at your tailbone. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly starts to drop. And you begin to peel your way up through that low spine, the middle of the spine, base of the neck, and then your eyes lift. Inhale. Keep the chin up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down. Pull the belly in. And keep your upper spine from moving until it's ready, until you feel that wave. Bring the chin down last. Taking an inhale. And an exhale. And one more inhale, start at your tailbone. Lift the tailbone up. Belly starts to drop. All right, slowly walking yourself up that middle of the spine, through my chest, the collarbones, base of the neck. Inhale, eyes lift. This time, exhale, lead with the chin. Nod your chin towards your chest first, then round your upper spine. Keep your low back extended as long as you can till that wave of spinal flexion and rounding of the low spine happens. And then we pause in our global cat. Walk the knees up a little bit more. Curl your toes under and just start to create a little force. Push your hands forward and your legs back. And give me 3 deep breaths. Maximal breath in, maximal breath out. So I'm not going to kind of piss off the mic here, but I want big inhales through your nose and big expulsive exhales out your mouth or the nose, whatever you'd prefer. 2 more. Breathe in, feel it into the armpits. Exhale, just tuck that tailbone a little bit more. Last breath in. Big expulsive breath out. And slowly come back to tabletop. Take your feet out in front of you. That's it. So actually, before we do that, let's get some ankles and some knees. So if you've got a block, grab your block. If you don't have a block, grab a book, just something to elevate, and slide it right under your right heel. Opposite leg doesn't matter what it's doing. You can fold it into a figure 4, slide it out wide. But warming up our ankles here, lock your knee. Quad is fired up. Start by pulling your toes back towards your shin. Then we invert, turn the foot in, point it down, go out and up. And you just do 3 of these: in, down, out, and up. No movement in the shin. Go slow so you control the circle. After you get that third reverse, go out, down, in, and up. We go eversion, planar, inversion, back to dorsiflexion. Getting that third, notice it's probably very hard to keep the shin and the knee and the thigh from jumping around. It's very common if you don't practice these. Just get the reps in, you get much better at them. Really quick with the knee. Same leg here. Bend your leg, drive your heel into the ground. Try to feel some regressive hamstring here. So you're almost trying to flex your knee here. So you get some hamstring and back of the knee stuff working. Pull your toes back towards your shin, and then just swivel your shin out, getting some motion through that tibia. Your toes turn out, and then you internally rotate. Keep the heel pressing down. You swivel the toes in. And just going side to side a few times. I'm framing here my thigh, helping it or holding it down from moving. Just getting some of these motions, trying to isolate movement at the knee. Again, something that just takes practice. Good job. And then we'll just get that other leg here. Slide the block or whatever you got. It can be a pillow, doesn't matter, whatever it is. Grab something, lock your knee, poke your quad, make sure it stays fired up. Toes start by pulling back towards your shin, and you go in, down, out, and up. Just getting 3. Good breathing. These cars are great to get blood flowing right to where we need it in that ankle capsule. Let's reverse, go out, down, in, and up. When I say your ankle or your joint capsule, I just mean the deepest stuff, right? Where the bones actually meet. That's where we want to get to, targeting the deepest stuff. Getting that third one, slide that block out of the way. Drive your heel into the ground. Feel hamstring here, keeping hamstring back of the knee engaged. Lock your ankle. So that's another hard part, disassociating ankle from knee. Another tricky part here. And just internally rotate. Find a moment at the end range to just, again, feel and be aware. And externally rotate. And practicing this motor control, right? We always start these classes very slow. Training your body to isolate and to really affect the micro before we get into those big macro movement patterns. And controlling yourself first and foremost. Getting just 1 to 2 more. Practice that. And slide both legs out. And you're just going to slide your kneecaps around. Right? Grab your kneecaps, one in each hand. Literally just slide them around. This might feel funny if you never practice it, but that kneecap needs to be mobile as well. Sometimes it gets caught up. The fascia, the skin around the knee can get tight. So you loosen it up by moving it, right? Motion is lotion. You can't actually get into that kneecap and see what's happening. So you got to move it around so the cartilage can imbibe nutrients and blood from other tissues. All right, let's just come on down to our side lying position here. So I'm gonna just lie down. We're gonna practice some hip cars here. So I'm gonna prop my head up. Might have to hold the mic in actually. So option when we do our hip cars, you can do them like we normally do with the top arm out in front, or if you want to try something a little harder today, take your arm up, and I'm going to hold my mic in because I have a feeling it's going to drop, but you can actually lay your bottom arm out long, and then your top arm can come up high. And you try to keep those hips stacked the whole time, and I'll try a couple. Hopefully the mic stays put. Hover that right leg. Let's plantar flex today, right? Point the toes, and flex your hip, knee towards your chest. Drive it all the way up. Hold it up here. Internally rotate. There goes the mic. Then extend. Lower that slow. 2 more forward. Hip flexion towards the chest. Lift all the way up. Holding up here. Internally rotate. Slowly descend. Last one. Knee towards the chest without rounding the spine. Drive the knee up. So knee and heel are up high. Keep the knee high. Spin the heel behind the line of the knee. Extend knee to finish. 3 in reverse now. Extend. ER. The heel and foot drop. Knee go high. Circle that through. 2 more. Extend back. Heel down. Knee high. Pull up. Controlling that hip. Last one. Extend. Drop the foot, knee goes up high and circles all the way back through. Great job. Now come up to a side frame position. So I'm going to lower to our forearm. You're going to keep your knees in line with your hips. Just have a good side plank through the bottom ribs. Look up at your right fist here. Pinch your shoulder blades onto your back. And just look at that bicep. Internally rotate the upper arm. And find a little bit of squeeze at the end. Externally rotate. Bicep turns to the behind you. Just give me 2 more. Internally rotate. Make sure the forearm and the wrist aren't initiating the action. The bicep, the upper arm has to be the prime mover here first. Forearm and wrist and fist can finish off the motion. Getting 3 to 4. Just going IR and ER. So these are the most basic movements of the hip and shoulder, guys. If your joints don't rotate, you technically don't really have a joint. They need to be able to move and rotate relative to one another. Let's stay in this position, reassess the rib position at the bottom. Now karate chop hand. Let's get a wrist car here. So just go down with the pinky. Keep the palm facing forward the whole time. Come into flexion. Pull those fingers down. Go up towards your thumb. Don't let the elbow help out here. Pull into extension. Just 2 more. Down towards the pinky. Bring it into flexion, up towards the thumb, and back into extension. 1 more. Go down. Pull into flexion, up towards the thumb. It's not as big as you think. Extend back, reverse. Extend, adduct, flex, and abduct. Going slow, no motion in the upper arm or the forearm now, just the wrist circles. Getting 3. And from here, just kind of push yourself down through that bottom forearm and just rise up. Let's go to the other side. So sliding over. Now getting our hip cars here. Bottom arm is out in front, or you can just rest it like our typical spots. But if you're trying to challenge the hip car, this is a way to do it. So you can be here, the arm stabilizing. That'll give you more stability. This one's a little bit more challenging. Hover that top leg, point the toes, hip flexes, drive all the way up, hold it up here, internally rotate, extend, lower slow. Let's reverse, extend back, heel down, knee high, pulling all the way through. Actually, I messed that up. We go all in one direction to start. Flex the hip, abduct, hold it up here, internally rotate and extend. Let's go one more this direction, flexion, lift up, keep that top hip from rolling back, internally rotate, lower slow, now 2 in reverse since we snuck in that first one. Extend, heel down, knee high, pulling through. One more, reach it back, drop the foot, knee circles up without rounding that low back. Come into side frame position, so just elbow, shoulder, in one line, side plank through the bottom ribs here. Take left arm up high, make a fist, pinch your shoulder blades together, keep the shoulder blades squeezed back, internally rotate, that bicep spins down, externally rotate, bicep spins back, upper arm. Try to feel shoulder blade muscles in external rotation. As you go into internal rotation, try to feel some pec, front of the shoulder, maybe high bicep. ER, rolling it out, going into IR. Keep that good rib position at the bottom. I'm kind of getting lazy here. One more, external and internal rotation. All right, stay locked. Karate chop hand, extend the fingers, right? Keep your gaze fixed. I know I'm looking my around a little bit. If you're looking at that wrist, right? Keep the wrist and the neck still. Go down towards the pinky, flex in, go up towards the thumb, and then back into extension. Down, flex, up towards the thumb, extend back. Last one, down, in, up, and out. Let's reverse now, up towards your thumb, into flexion, down towards the pinky, and back into extension. It's just a circle, guys. Don't get too in your head about it. Keep the shoulder blades back, though. The whole rest of the left arm still. Good job. Now drive down through that bottom forearm and just come on up here to a nice seated position. All right. Now from here, just want you to roll yourself down. Let's take a couple rock and rolls here. So the whole length of your spine, maybe pause with the toes back behind you. Just finding a little bit of movement, just iron out the whole spine. You're going to use a little bit of momentum and you're going to rock right up to a forward fold. So take the feet hips width distance. All right, do something called the elephant walk here, all right? So I want you to remember, keep your knees as soft as you need to throughout. You do not have to lock the knee in any way. But you're going to bend the right knee a lot and start to work the left leg straight by driving down through left heel. Maybe your sternum comes towards that left shin. And then you just reverse that. Left knee bends, press right heel down as you work the right leg a little straighter. Reach that belly button for the knee. And just finding that motion a few times, switching back. Remember, driving down through the heel with that leg that you're working to straighten. Feel that energy down through your feet. Feel the energy of the pelvis rising up. Last few rounds here. Just elephant walking. Bend your knees and roll your spine up nice and slow. Chin to your chest the whole way. Once the shoulders stack, just come on up and roll it out. All right, so some dynamic shoulder work here. We're going to start, bring the forearms together, lift the elbows right up in line with the shoulders. Forearm squeeze, just go through some dynamic internal and external rotation. So keep your breath smooth and even as we go through this, right? Try to do nice and slow in and out through the nose. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Come up into cactus arms here. So you're gonna really lift the elbows up, turn your thumbs behind you, and then point your thumbs down as you lift your elbows up. Now brace your core here. We tend to lose a lot of stability when we go into back bends. We just like kind of dump into our low back and we don't actually pressurize our low core system. So as you inhale, you're gonna fill up here, fill up that belly, stabilize the low core, and then exhale, pull the forearms together here like you're doing a chest press and round the spine, tuck your tailbone. Do that a few times here. Elbows lift, thumbs point down, breathe into that low core. Exhale, round it out. Keep the knees soft. 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, round it out. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, open up. Straighten those arms out. From here, we bend the elbows in, internally rotate the arms, and send your arms back behind you. All right? So this position is internal rotation and extension of the shoulders. Again, feel free to use that spine. We did our slow controlled work. Now we're working more dynamically, shifting in and out of positions a bit quicker. So you're in this internally rotated position. Now you're going to bend the elbows in and extend, open up, external rotation, abduction, elbows bend, internal rotation and extension. And just practicing this a few times, opening up through the chest. We initiate the movement with the elbow bend, internally rotate, reach back. A few more times, switching it out. Opening up, bending elbows in, reaching back. Last 2. Open up through the chest, elbow bend, kind of close off through the chest and extend back. Last 1, opening up. Then elbow bend, reach back. Now stay reaching back. This position, start to reach the arms out in front of you, cross right wrist over left, and just open up through the chest. Let's do that a couple times. Elbow bends, reach back. Left wrist on top, reach out, open up through the chest, breathe into the low core. And then exhale, elbow bend, reach back. 2 more. Right wrist on top, open up. Straighten the arms. Internally rotate and extend. Left wrist on top, opening. Elbow bend, reach back. All right, from here now, let's see here. In that same, actually, just give the shoulders a little shake out. Let's take the arms out in front of you, make nice fists. Take your feet just a little bit wider, getting our shoulder blades. So just go forward with the shoulder blades, pinch the shoulder blades together. 2 more, go forward, pinch back, going forward, pinching back. Now stay and pinched back, lift shoulder blades up, slide them down, try to keep the ribs low, elevate shoulders up, depress them down. Once more, lift up, slide down. Now do the full rep. Go forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Let's reverse, lift, push up, forward, down, back, lift up, push forward, slide down, pinch, back. Good job. Shake the arms out. Take your arms out in front of you. Here, both arms out. Keep the knees soft again. Open up through the right arm. Reach the chest open to the right side. And then close it off. Left side, left arm opens. And then we'll make this again more dynamic. Come back to center. Open up through the right, center, to the left. And finding your own rhythm. It's not about a specific number here. It's just trying to find fluidity through the movement patterns. Maybe having a sense of linking breath to movement, but don't feel like you have to. If you're moving too fast, just keep your breath steady. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to center here. Left palm facing up, right palm facing down. I'll reach that right arm as far back behind you. Left arm goes up. Keep the spine as straight as you can here. Then you switch. Right palm is up. Left palm is left shoulders internally rotated and extended. And you just switch, right? The palms turn over at the bottom. The whole arm goes through internal and external rotation as we go through flexion and extension of the shoulder joint. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, come back to center here. Let's drop into a squat. All right, sit low into your squat. I want you to take your hands out in front of you, and we're going to warm up the wrists. Last little bit here before we get into some dynamic leg work. So take the hands out in front of you and just spread the fingers and then make a fist. And just do that 10 times or so, spreading the fingers as wide as you can. And then keep the hands wide and pulse them wider, right? Pulse them wider. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Now stay with that if you can't get into this motion. If you can, forward fold, slide your forearms behind your knees, and you get a nice little compression release here with the wrists as we continue to work them. So squeezing the forearms, same thing we just did, right? Spread the fingers wide, make a fist. Another 5, 4, I might have to go wider in your squat like me. 2, and 1, then we pulse them, right? Pulse them wider, as wide as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Lift the hips, hands come down. Try to supinate and extend the wrist. So turn the fingers behind you, bend your knees as much as you need to do this, right? So our elbow pits are facing forward, and then see if you can walk your feet up onto your hands. Get your toes right into the wrist crease, right? And just massage here, right? Push down through the toes and then pull up through your shoulders here. They're trying to pull your upper body up, but using the strength of your toes to pull your hand down. Nice. Again, release on the wrist. 3, 2, then on 1. Just bend the knees, lower the hips a little, and work the legs a little straighter. Just practice that a couple times. Bend the knees, lift the hips, and then keep the hands flat. Walk the feet back, and just pulse back, right? Hips lower towards the heels. The heel of the hand lifts up. Shifting forward and back. 3, 2, and 1. Turn both hands out. Spread the fingers wide, grip with the fingertips, and just find some circles here. Trying to go through as much range of motion through the wrists. Look down at your wrists as you circle the shoulders, and just notice how the arm bones are articulating with the wrists. Reverse the circles. Notice if there's any pinching as you go through these. We never want any closing angle pinching. So if you've got any of that going on the top of the wrist here, we back out a little bit, right? You don't go so deep into it. All right. Great work, guys. Let's come right into down dog. Spread the fingers, curl the toes under, and lift the hips up. And then just take a moment here and just notice how it feels just to let the head hang. Be in somewhat of an inverted position here. Again, spreading the fingers, shoulder blades spread wide. Squeeze the upper arms in towards each other, towards the midline. Try to wrap the triceps in as well, and really push down through the hands. Heels release towards the floor as the thighs press back. Inhale, down dog split. Lift your right leg up high. Exhale, step right foot right to where right hand is. Right hand comes up to protect the knee joint here. So we grab on to that right thigh, strapping in. Now, if you need a block, you might need a block for this. So take the block right underneath left hand or your book, Bible, whatever you got. If you don't need it, you don't need it. But from here, we just lower the hips. The hips get really low. Spine is long. And from here, keep left hand planted, straighten right leg, externally rotate, bend back into it. And just try that 4 more times. Lift, straighten, externally rotate, bend into it. So just, again, we don't have to put a number on it. Getting everything between 3 to 5 times as slowly as you need to go. But you straighten that right leg, the bones go neutral, then we externally rotate and bend back into it. I'm going to take 1 more. leg straightens, ER, bend into it. And straighten that right leg, heel toe, right foot forward, drop left knee, take a half split. All right, so from here, right hand is gonna walk right below right shoulder, left hand behind the back of your skull. Inhale, open up through your chest. Exhale, reach left elbow to that right foot. Inhale, open up. Exhale, elbow towards the foot. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. A couple more. Once more. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. And this time, hold at the bottom here. You can release that left hand to the ground. Maybe externally rotate the hip a bit more so the toes turn out. Reach that belly button for the knee. Breathe for 3, 2, and on 1. Bend back into the right knee. Now we practice a horizon lunge. So left hand down, right? Reach right hand behind you. Really let that left hip sag down. Now again, left hand can be under the block or the book, whatever you need. Keep that left leg straight behind you. Straighten right leg and the thighs cross. Practice this 4 to 5 times, right? Bending into it. Leg go straight. Bending. Straightening. Last couple. Bend. Straighten. Bend. And straighten. It's time. Bend. Come back to that lunge. Walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat. Bend into that left knee. Find a lateral squat position here. Both feet will stay flat. For a moment, hands can be out in front of you. Try to get as upright through the spine as you can. So I'm going to give you a different view here. What do we got, right? So we'll switch it out. So you're in that lateral squat, left leg. Maybe you come into full skandasana. So right toes can turn up to the sky. Now from here, keep the hips low. Pivot, right toes down. Find left hand down, horizon lunge, right? Reach right hand behind you. Then we twist back around. We go into that skandasana or lateral squat. Now I'm going to take my right hand behind the back. Actually, my right hand behind the back of my head and keep it there to make it a little bit harder. So then go right to horizon lunge, open up. Pivot back around, back to skandasana or lateral squat. Hips stay low. Couple rounds on your own. Working into it. Hips stay low. Be dynamic. Be fluid here. I'm going to get one more. Finding my horizon lunge. Walking back into that skandasana. And then I come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Shift some weight into your toes. Walk your hands out in front of you and bend your knees. And keep the hips low here and the feet flat. Option, hands can be down or again behind the back of your head. Try to keep the hips low and be dynamic here. So we've challenged our mobility already with the cars. Now we're kind of working through speed, almost in and out, but keeping our joints safe. So if it feels sketchy, right, it probably is sketchy. Be nice to yourself if you're feeling any pinching around the knees, but just try to go side to side here. Hands can be down or hands can be behind the back of the head. Just going side to side. Last 4, 3, 2, on 1. Find that skandasana into the left leg. Just open up. Now from here, pivot the right toes to the ground. Big move here, all right? Go slow. Press off left foot. Find a curtsy squat. So your right foot's facing forward and out still. Right knee bends, left knee bends. You find a curtsy. Then it's a big step into that lateral squat. And you land soft. Press up, find the curtsy. Land soft. 2 more like that. Find the curtsy. Land soft. Find the curtsy squat. Land soft. This time, find a 1-leg balancing. So left knee up towards your chest. Find that balance. Right toe pointed down. Big step out. Land soft. And practice that nice, easy landing. Left knee up. Use the arms to balance. Land soft. Last 2 here, left knee up. Soft landing to the squat. Go left knee up. That soft landing. And then just keep the hips low. Crawl yourself to that right leg. Step it back to a high plank. Inhale, shift forward on the tiptoes. Exhale, 5 push-ups. Bend the elbows, lower slow. Push yourself up. 4 more. Lower. Lift. So pinch the shoulder blades first, then bend the elbows, pull yourself to the ground. Drive yourself up. 2 more. Lower. Lift. Really spreading the upper back here. Nice, slow, honest rep. Pinch the shoulder blades, bend the elbows, pull yourself to the ground. Drive through your palms as you press up. Down dog. Big inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left hand or left foot right to where left hand was. Left hand to left knee. Inhale, bend into that left knee, lower the hips. Exhale, left leg goes straight. Externally rotate, bend back into it. Couple more of those, right? No set number, just finding the motion, getting that good external rotation before we bend back into our lunge. Go slow. Again, if something's feeling dicey around the knee joint, I know I still have some different stuff going on my knees. I tend to be very careful when it comes to new movement patterns. So be safe first and foremost. Lower into that lunge. Straighten back out actually. Half split. So center off that left leg. Left hand under left shoulder, right hand behind the back of your head. Inhale, open up. Exhale, elbow to toes. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach, elbow to toes. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, close. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. And this time, just lower that right hand. Externally rotate the hip more. Just reach that belly button for the knee. Last 3. For 2. On 1. Bend back into left leg. Find your horizon lunge. So roll to the outer edges of both feet. You can always walk that left foot back a little bit. Maybe block goes under right hand. Left leg goes straight. Bend into it. Left leg straight. Bend into it. Couple more. Work that left leg straight. Bend back into it. This time, lower left. Find your low lunge. Walk your hands all the way around to the right. Find Skandasana, bending into right leg. Or actually, we go lateral squat. So lateral squat in the right foot, keeping the feet flat, maybe hands down. Play around with how tall you can keep your spine. And maybe you go into Skandasana with the left toes up, or your Cossack squat. So many names, whatever you're used to calling it. And then we'll work in and out of that dynamic movement here. So going from our Skandasana to our horizon lunge, keeping the hips low. Right hand down, horizon lunge. Reach, left hand back, hips lower. Pivot back around, find that Skandasana. We'll go left hand behind the back of the head if you want to challenge. Horizon lunge, bending into it. Back to that Skandasana. Couple more. Hips stay low. Being fluid through the movements. Maybe being fluid to you means just going slow and really feeling it all out. We'll finish off in that Skandasana and come back to center. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and just take this as a little bit of a breather. You can just drape, anything goes here. If you feel like an inversion, take a headstand, a handstand. But just a moment maybe to catch your breath a bit, just for 3. Push through those toes, balancing the weight between toes and heels. For 2. Long, slow exhale. And on one, inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, lower the hips. Take the hands behind the back of the head. See if you can go side to side. Let's go side to side. Hips stay low, feet stay flat. That's it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. On one, we go Skandasana, bending into that right knee. And we got that big motion here. Left foot goes flat. Curtsy squat. Big step with right leg behind you. Left knee bends as well. And we big step out with right leg, landing in Skandasana. Getting 3 to 4 to these. Curtsy, knee bends, big step out. Toes to the sky. Step it behind. Soft landing. Skandasana. Once more. Bending in the curtsy. Landing in the Skandasana. This time one leg balance. Right knee comes up in. Find the balance. Soft landing in the Skandasana. Getting 3 to 4. Big step, soft land. Rise up. Be strong. Last one here. Standing balance. Soft landing in Skandasana. Hips stay low. Crawl to the front of your mat. Step it back to a high plank. Inhale, shift forward on the tiptoes. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. And from here, just come up to an easy Sphinx. So I like to go thumbs in line with my jaw. I give my pelvis a little tuck. And just slightly press down through the forearms. But I'm thinking about lifting, my bones up. And not just kind of dumping into this low back area. I'm trying to pull my chest up longer with my upper back muscles. Last 3, maybe you want to take this deeper into something else. For 2, on 1, press it back here. Let's find a bit of a counter. So a lot of squatting and whatnot through that little leg series. So let's take a nice long half kneel or crescent B. Inhale, lift that left leg up, and exhale, step left leg up. Drop right knee down, and just upright your spine and hold here for a moment. So we start almost like we're standing on our back knee, right knee, hip, shoulder, all in a line. Give your pelvis a subtle tuck under. And we want to keep our pelvis tucked to prevent us from using our low back here. So, if you're someone who can get your hips really close to the ground, you're really just using the low back extension to get the hips low. You're not getting that good frontal hip opening that we're trying to go for here. So pelvis stays tucked. From there, then you bend a little deeper into the left knee, almost like you're dragging that right thigh forward. Breathing deep. If you want to take the arms up, you can take the arms up. I'm going to stay supported, but feel free to take them up high if you want. For another 5 breaths or so, drag that right thigh forward. Open up all this tissue in the front of the hip, maybe even getting into the abdominal wall. And we'll just switch it out here. So plant the hands, lower, lift back knee, and just give it a switch. All right, so right leg's up, left knee down. Hands rest right up onto that right thigh. Got knee, hip, shoulder all in a line. Pelvis tucks under. Bend deeper into the right knee, actively pulling your left thigh forward. Breathing through it. Remember to hug the inner legs together and find a good rooting sensation down through the front heel, front ball of the foot. Keep the intention on, front of left hip opening up. Keep dragging the thigh forward. 5, 4. Belly zips in. 2. On one, hands come down. Let's just try some fun little jump switches here. So again, you can raise the hands up if you want, blocks under them. That'll make this a little bit easier, but just find some jump switches. Again, might take a little practice, a few times getting it. You're in your lunge, switch, switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on one, lower to a seat. Gonna roll all the way down. Grab your block or your book, maybe a pillow, a blanket, anything. Take supported bridge here. Press through the feet. Lift the hips up, slide that block or prop right underneath that triangular shaped part of your pelvis, your sacrum. I always like to take my arms over my head and then my legs out long. But again, work into what feels good for you. You can keep the knees bent, and the arms by your side. If you want to take an active back bend, now's the time. We're going to be here for about another minute. This is my favorite way to decompress after a dynamic session like that, even after a tough stretching and strength class. When I do Kinstretch classes, I always like to end like this. It's just a great way to calm your nervous system back down. Think doubling the length of your exhale. If you need more time here, feel free to stay here for another few moments. For sake of time, I'm going to come on out and just find some, take the feet hips width or mat width and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And pull your knees into your chest, big self hug. And release into final rest here. So arms out wide, legs wide, or really whatever shape you want to take here in your Shavasana. Does not matter how it looks, what it looks like. The only thing that matters is that you take this little bit of time, whether it's just a minute or two, or if you actually have the time, take a full 5 to 10. Work on fully allowing your body to let go. Every exhale, letting any residual tension in your body melt into the floor. So just melting it all away. Thank you all so much for practicing with me.